Yo, I'm Mayday, and right now you're locked into the remix ALB.
Welcome to the remix.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. So talk to me, who is Mayday?
Mayday is a grime artist from Kingstanding Birmingham. That's the best way to. I do a lot, but I think that succinctly is the best way to say what it is. And then I think currently, as we have this conversation, I'm at a point where it's getting to the stage my work speaks for itself. And a lot of people, they may know Canva, they may know ALB, they may know Corellin, and all these different things. So I am a grime artist from Birmingham. But obviously, as you know, off camera friends and that, a lot of that goes beyond just making music in it. So, but I guess that's the best way to explain.
Yeah. So going back to pre you making music back when you were a youth, you listened to a lot of your mum's garage mixes.
Yeah, man. It's in my Spotify bio for a reason, to be fair, because like everyone I grew up with, they're like, yeah, man, my mum brought me up on like a rock and roll or an ACD. So I'm like, what? No, my mum played garage, and we got CDs from the Chinese man in the pub that had just bare random tunes on it, and most of them would be garage or whatever. So yeah, it was like mostly garage. I would say, yeah, pretty much. Maybe a little hip hop here and there. I didn't really take to that too much, but yeah, I'd say mostly garage is what I came up on, to be fair.
What was it about all of that like sparked your interest?
I don't know. I think as you get socialized, whatever your parents or whoever you live with play in the house, kind of you have to do that. Especially, obviously things are a bit different with streaming and like personal selection and discovery now. But I think back then it's like the tunes were just on. That was really it. And I think garage as a genre is very happy and for the most part upbeat anyway. So just having that sound kind of around the house is just kind of, yeah, and it kind of worked. And then obviously grime, which I eventually ended up making, being related, or like dark garage and how that like kind of all came together. I think that's just like a natural excerpt of what garage became, or garage was, and now became. So yeah, I guess it's that really.
Yeah. So Kingstanding, how was it growing up in Kingstanding?
Kingstanding is rough, man. Kingstanding is rough. Yeah, for me, obviously being ginger, you get bullied and whatever. Just for being, it's just different. It's just a hair color in it.
Yeah,
it's just because it's different. It's not a brown or a blonde or whatever. Cool. Obviously, there's massive elements of bullying. But you just kind of get used to it, and tough skin sort of thing. So, but Kingstanding itself has a very, very bad reputation, and it's one of those places where the reputation precedes the area itself. Like there's great people in Kingstanding, clearly, and people that I know there. But yeah, it's very poor. It's very forgotten. Like everyone's getting onto me because I did another interview recently, and the first thing I said was, Kingstanding don't have a train station, and I've been saying that for years. And man, are laughing at me, but I'm like, bro, we don't actually have a train station. We have to go to the next place over, which is Sutton Coldfield, which is like the poshest area of Brum, if you count Solihull or whatever, or Four Oaks. But it's like we have to go all the way there just to get the train into the. It's long.
Yeah.
So I think the north, Birmingham's not necessarily split in the same way London is like north, south, east, west, but like geographically, the north part of Birmingham where I'm from, it's very, very forgotten across most of the areas. Again, excluding Sutton. So yeah, I think not having a lot of things to do, not being a lot of like governmental infrastructure there, including myself, everyone just got into trouble, and that was just kind of like a norm. And you can't, especially when you're that young, you don't really go against the norm. It's just like, oh, my friends are doing this, yeah, it's cool, let's steal this, or let's do X, Y, Z. So,
how did that kind of environment shape your music?
I think you're socialized by kind of what you're around. So a lot of the music I've made has pulled from those life experiences. And I think a lot of people, everyone internalizes stuff differently. But I'm just kind of saying it through my lens of growing up there. And various people obviously had various different upbringings, but I think that just kind of goes into the music through there. And it's not like a lot of people like to do the whole poverty porn thing, like, oh, you don't know how poor I was, because I don't really do that. It's like everyone was poor, at least my friends. All of us were poor to different degrees and whatever, but it's not necessarily sensationalizing that for the sake of music. It's more like, this was my experience, maybe a little exaggerated to make a better song. But yeah, I just kind of pull from there. And again, it's my experience. That's the thing. Music is subjective and expressive as well. So like there could be other people from Kingstanding who have completely different ideas and whatever to me. I don't think there really is, to be fair, at least at the moment properly. But yeah, it's just through my lens, and I've only got the lens I was kind of brought up around. And Kingstanding, notoriously poor area. So yeah, that's kind of why it is how it is. And then everything, I made a song called The Pimple, which is like where I'm from in Kingstanding, and it's like the tallest point of Kingstanding. But then I shot the video when I did my first international performance, which was in Osaka, Japan. So like even that, it's like the song is about where I'm from, and the video just looks sick because I'm in Japan. So you can kind of really do anything. But I think Kingstanding is obviously part of me, but it's not the entire identity. So a lot of people have their ends or their city or their whatever it is as their whole thing, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So I'm from Birmingham. I'm from Kingstanding in Birmingham, but that's not everything.
Yeah. What was the point that kind of like made you sit there and go like, this is what I want to do? Like,
I think I was just bored of hearing everything around at the time. I think it was during, I don't know, man. Skepta shutdown was probably what 2016, that peak of grime where like it was mainstream and everyone in the world of grime did it. And then after that, it just kind of died off, and then
Yeah.
radio kind of came back. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just bored of what I'm hearing, and I'm not hearing enough good grime music. Let me just try it. And obviously, when I started out, horrendous stuff. I was so bad it sounded like I was doing spoken word poetry. It's so bad. And then yeah, it was really just. I've always been a big proponent of if it's not there, create it.
yeah.
And that could be anything from you making this podcast or having a newsletter or starting a football team, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just like, okay, the music that I want to hear is not there. Let me just try and create it.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I started, it was nowhere near where it was now, but I was surprised that I'm one of the few people I'm aware of who have asked the question who actually listens to their own music. Like, I make music for me to listen to.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it, safe, great. But like for me, it helps me outlet and feelings and kind of put ideas together and da. But like that's for me. I listen to me a lot, so I've never really understood of just doing it to do it sort of thing.
Yeah. No, you should always make music that you listen to. Like, if you're not enjoying it, then why do you think somebody else is going to enjoy it?
And it's like anyone who gets into music for like to be the guy or to be her or to make money, like they're gonna come and go. Like even since I've been doing it for not that long, like I saw bare people come and go, and either they were money motivated, and music is one of the worst places to be money motivated because I gotta get you involved and an engineer and then a producer. Obviously, you can do all this yourself, but like if you extrapolate the example, you gotta get 4 to 5 people in just to get your idea from your brain to like on a screen or in a sound. Then, as the norm, I'm expecting you to take 3 minutes out of your day to listen to it, like it, and then pay me 99p for the privilege.
Yeah.
That entire pipeline is insane. To get from idea to music, to put all of that in to just sell it for 99p.
Yeah.
No more so. Like the whole subjectivity, music's a very weird game in that regard. So if you don't do it for yourself and love the process of doing it, once you realize what I've just broken down is the pipeline, you won't even want to play that game past 3-4 songs. And I've noticed that with loads of people. So that's why people have a song saying I'm back, but it's like the 3rd time they've dropped that song saying I'm back. So
no, it is the way that it is though, like with so many different industries as well. Like if you don't do it for the love of it, you're not going to get anywhere with it. Like there's so many like big artists where they've done it because they love it, but then there's like one hit wonders who have done it to make that one tune that like, you know, makes them the money, it gets their name out there, but they've stopped having the love for it because they've made that money and then they fall off completely.
Well, it's like Canva happened, and obviously if I lived and died by the Canva moment, we'd still be chatting about Canva. I wouldn't even be here probably because I'd just be, oh, that guy went viral for Canva, whatever. Obviously I've built out of that. Obviously no one intends to be a one-hit wonder, I don't think, but like when you get with that, a lot of people are not ready for the level of virality and both the pros and cons that come with that. And because there's no blueprint on that, they can't necessarily navigate accordingly, which is why, as you said, they may fall off. But I think in anything, it just comes down to if you enjoy the process, the result is secondary. The destination is. That's why people say you love the journey at the destination. Like if you love what you're doing, whatever that is, like I enjoy thinking of an idea, going to studio, making music, messing around, doing sets and da. Obviously, if you like it or XYZ likes it, cool, great, safe bonus, but it has to be for me first. And I think it's selfish in nature, but I think a lot of people do, especially nowadays, they do so much for other people's external validation and attention. It's like, what's the point? It's like, I like to travel. It's the one thing I'll never monetize, because if I monetize that, then I've lost everything. I enjoy music. Obviously, I can monetize music and but I think everyone has to have something that keeps them physically fit, something that makes them money, and something that keeps them creative. But the commonality across those three is like you have to love the process of whatever that is. If you don't like the process, you might as well get, because you won't last. Like a lot of people get into, I don't know, technology businesses because it's loads of money in there, or real estate, but they don't like tech or real estate, so it just doesn't work out for them. So I think that goes to like, if you love the process, everything else is kind of secondary. You'll get it, but it's secondary to like enjoying the process. And I also don't think you can learn to love a process. If you don't want to do this podcast, you won't come out of the house, but because you like speaking to people, it's terrible weather today. It's far from where you live, but like you're still here doing it. A lot of people, like, you love the process of shouting people and putting stuff together. If you don't love that process, we wouldn't be here now. And a lot of people just don't have that across the board in whatever they do anyway. So I think if you love the process, you'll be fine. And I don't think you can necessarily learn to love the process.
No, there isn't like a single step of this that I don't love, from shouting out to artists, sorting out everything for socials, like editing. Like I'm spending hours a day at a computer just like chopping up little clips, but I love it. It is, I couldn't imagine doing it if I hated it, or like I didn't have the passion in it.
And I also think, should you, I don't know, expand your team or whatever your operation is, I wouldn't be comfortable asking someone to do something that I haven't at least attempted to do myself. Like I tried to produce, terrible, got a producer. Tried to engineer, terrible, etc. But I at least attempted it. but I'm not a big fan of asking someone to do something I haven't even tried. And again, that goes in the like I may not love it, but like you at least have to try it and understand
Yeah.
it's part of the process of, in my case, making music.
No, for real. So like going back to like where you were like when you first started,
Mm.
who was like the first person in the city to believe in what you were doing, and like what was the turning point of people taking you seriously?
I don't know, man. That's an interesting question, to be fair. Because obviously, I don't know that. I know people definitely laughed and still do laugh, but that's kind of got less over the years. This is just what I've heard from people, and so it kind of swings around. It doesn't necessarily matter in the grand scheme of things. Um, I don't know the first person to believe in me. Yeah, probably my engineer, probably the captain. He's called Dubsco, but I call him the captain. And even then, like he just kind of gave up on music at that time when I found him. I was like, listen, just stick with me. I know I'm bad, but I'm gonna figure it out. And then lo and behold, years later, we've got Canva, Complete the Mission, Awful Lotta Awful Lotta Birmingham. Everything we've done, like 95% of my catalog is his productions and engineering. So I would probably say him. But one person I do want to give a shout out to that a lot of people I think would agree with genuinely is if you're in Birmingham, there's a 90% chance that DJ Bigos was the first person to play your music on radio in like rap and grime or whatever, because I didn't realize how common that was. And I don't think Bigos as him, I don't think he's sung about enough for what he does now with like his synced stuff and that side of things. But like as a DJ, as DJ Bigos, I think he was genuinely the first person to play my music on radio. And I think he's done that for a lot of people. So that's not necessarily he believes in me per se, but like you have to believe in someone to a degree to at least give them that opportunity to think it makes sense for your side of things. So if I had to pick a person, it'd probably be one of those two, but I couldn't necessarily pinpoint down a specific person. Like I've known Medley the longest out of anyone, but he's not from Birmingham, he's from Derby, so he's kind of here. And he didn't believe me at the start because he weren't doing anything at the start. So we just kind of figured it out as we went along.
So like with obviously those big influential people in Birmingham, how did Birmingham shape your sound as like an early artist in the scene?
I think Birmingham's the best, especially in grime. Obviously, everyone's like London, and yeah, cool, but like Birmingham's the best. And I think like my favorite is and has always been Mayhem in it. And just from seeing him just say one line and just make everyone on the rest of in the room is just like, oh, I have to reevaluate everything. When I saw that part, I was like, yeah, he's cool. And then we had Sucks, and then we had Triller, and then like the lineage of two and a half decades from like Midlands Mafia to Devilman versus Skepta to Triller's run to JK and to Depsman and JK, and then to Sucks' run, and then to JK's run, and then Safwan's run, and then Lady Leash and all in the middle of that, and all these great things. It's like there's never not been a time where Birmingham has had something great going on.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't necessarily being a part of that. It's just like, oh, the people I listened to made me want to start doing it. Even though I said the music I was hearing at the time was the music itself was, but the sets, there was a set from Birmingham literally every week at that point. And if not, a few freestyles across multiple channels. So there was always this cool stuff I was taking in. And back then, if you was the guy on JDZ, Pomo 10, Word on Road, all of these channels, like you had like 10,000, 100,000 views, you were the guy. And it's like, oh, but he also sounds like me. Like Triller is the first MC I ever heard. Like I found Grime, but then Triller was the first one I heard like, oh, he sounds like me. And then I heard 012 and I was like, yeah, he's from ours. And so I think Birmingham's grime lineage, Birmingham's music lineage in general is phenomenal. But I think the grime lineage specifically is definitely up there. And I think working to be, a part of that, working to be, whatever you want to call it, being part of that amazing tapestry is like just a continuation of what was done. Like I had the 012 Legacy documentary. I can't remember exactly when it dropped. It was probably early COVID times. And then since then, it's like, cool. So that's 20 years. So now what does the next 20 years look like? And currently, I'm playing my role in that. And there's people after me and people alongside me and whatever. So I think that's really what it is. It's just doing the work because it was fun to do from the people I started listening to, like Mayhem, Sucks, Triller, etc.
So like, out of those, who would be like the biggest person you wanted to collab with?
I mean, I've got a song. Mayhem and Sucks are on Secret Weapon, which is Until Canva, which was my biggest lyric. And that was dropped up on the Complete the Mission project. Yeah, so me and Triller. I think me and Triller would make a great tune. I think me and Daps and Matt would. I think me and JK would. In Birmingham, I think they're the main three. I think me and Mike Skinner would as well, because of obviously his great history and all of that. So yeah, probably those. But out of those three I named, it will be Triller. But in general, I think me and those four people at some point we probably will make a great song.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm surprised that you haven't done anything with JK because I've seen that you two have been at a couple events together.
So obviously JK organised the call up thing, and he shouted me, he's like, "Oh, Mayday, I want you to do the Awful Lotta Birmingham as the support set." So then I rallied my lot and and then JK has given me advice when I've reached out to him before for I'd say a good two issues. And obviously you kind of have to listen because he's made the most money and done the most thing. And obviously money is not the be all and end all, but it's like that level of tangible proof never existed
Yeah.
really before JK. Like Chiller continues to this day to slap up and down every single club in this country and abroad as well. Like JK and how far Moscow and Toothache went to the point where they're like internationally renowned songs. And then he did the Commonwealth game. Like, you kind of have to listen to it. You don't have to like it, but you have to listen because that level of proof is like he's done it. So a lot of things I've asked advice for. Also, JK's manager Despa, he's a good friend of mine. I've asked him and he's helped me a lot as well. So something will come at some point, but I think it's one of those where the relationship is, I've still got work to do. He's doing different things now anyway. So I think it's just one of them, what's it called? Like divine timing. Like when it happens, it's like,
it's going to be mental.
Fun fact, you're actually the first person I've ever said this to. The Canva happened.
Yeah.
I did that big remix with Badger and T-Face. JK was supposed to be on that remix.
Really?
That was the first thing they said to me. Like, oh, we've sent it to JK. We're just waiting on the verse. That never happened because of whatever. I don't know. I think it was just timing issues and whatever. But then I'm kind of glad because I don't think the first time a Mayday JK song happens, it should be a big dance record.
Yeah.
To me, that just wouldn't feel right.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially what I do, what he's done in it.
Yeah.
So that's just one of them. Like, it will happen. Just a case of just whenever it does. But you can't necessarily force it because he's got stuff going on, I've got stuff going on. Doesn't really make sense, but it will happen.
No, I'm excited for it to happen, because I grew up listening to JK as well. Like, it was when I started seeing you two on like the same lineups and stuff, I was like, this is insane, because like you're one of my people, you're one of my friends.
Exactly. So, and I think with Awful Lotta Birmingham being a mixtape and now it's become a movement, I think a lot of me being a glue guy or a bridge between like the older lot, like your JKs, Trillers, obviously everyone's got different relationships to that, but like speak to Jay, speak to Triller and Daps and all these people, and then like I think everyone's only like 1 degree of separation from or 2 in it. Like, you know me, I know JK, JK knows Ed Sheeran, you know Ed Sheeran, you know, like that sort of thing. And I think in Birmingham, like just being in the rooms and places, it's kind of like it's getting better. Like everyone could be in the same room and collaborate just to do grime. Like even at the call up to the second one, the green room was upstairs, it was massive. Then like you had all of us like here, and then all of the older like there, but everybody was in the same room, and then everyone was talking and whatever. So just more of that in general. Obviously Birmingham's got a complex history that I'm not going to get into, of just like different reasons and whatever that certain people didn't get along. But I think now it's kind of, at least the ARB lot, like all of us, like everyone gets on, and like a lot of us have different relationships with various older MCs. So like there's a lot more collaborations happening. I know Trappy's got a tune with one of them landing soon. DH is just on with Vader. Obviously I've got Make It My Sock. So like they're getting there, and as a fan, I just think more collaborations, both horizontally and vertically, they'll come soon, and it will kind of do what you've said it does in like just putting people kind of on the same stage and like just showing Birmingham holistically. And I think because that generation above us is the most successful one so far, it's like you kind of have to listen to learn sort of thing.
Well, they've got the experience, they know what they're talking about. Like, you'd be stupid not to listen to what they're saying. And
I think because they came at a time where streaming started becoming a thing, YouTube was a massive thing, it was different from the generation before them. And then obviously you've got like your two fakes, She Wants a Man from Rum, Queen Speech 4, is all in that second generation from like what 2012 to whatever you want to call it, 2016, 17. So yeah, there's a lot to learn from. But I think it's just kind of being able to, I'm a very big value exchange person. Like if I can get something from you, I need to give you something first, if that makes sense. And as you know me, I'm very much a giving person in terms of linking you with ABC or helping on this, or I know this about metadata and And I think just being a good asset in general, it's like, oh, Mayday knows, or oh, Mayday knows the person. That then helps me like be in the same room with you and with him and so.
How many times have I come to you being like, what events are going on? Can I pop through to this? Or I need some advice on this, because like you are the guy. Like you are.
I think again that stems from becoming a glue guy, just by like wanting to see more stuff go on, to the point where in 2024, me and Trappy, we would find sets or like curate sets in like Nottingham or Bristol or Manny, and just say to everyone else, yo, this is the location, this is the set, be there, whoever's there, safe. And we had a massive run to start of 2024 for a good 6 months where we were slapping up everything on every city. And that was just a case of we were just doing it because it wasn't there really before. So I think that comes down to it as well, in regards to like just doing the work that you want to see. And then from that, I've then become a person where people are like, oh, shout Mayday, he'll sort it. And it's not pressure. Sometimes it can be long, because like managing egos and dealing with so many different people and like venues or brands or whatever, like it's all part and parcel. I think I am just an artist originally, but like doing 3 events this year in 7 months is an insane pace. All of them were sponsored. I sorted the venue. I got the people there. I've done all the promo. I got the DJ. I did everything, and I'm making all the mistakes through that, learning through that, to the third and final one just happening. But I think all of that has become like my reputation as Mayday the artist. It's also like, oh, Mayday. If Mayday can't help you, he most likely knows the person. But more time, I can help you. So, and again, as you said, that's across like events to be there physically, anything going on online, who you need to know, can you shout XYZ for me? I've done that for so many people and open doors. It's like, and a lot of people say, yeah, I'll pay you for it. I'm like, pay me for sending an Instagram message to someone I already know.
Yeah.
To me, it don't make sense. Like, I know people take that finder's fee, but I was like, no, just shout them. If it don't work, it don't work. But also through that, I've learned you have to be very careful who you allow that privilege to.
Yeah.
So if I recommend you to ABC and then you mess up something with ABC,
that
then reflects on my relationship with ABC. And then, as you said, so it goes from there. So again, I've learned that as well, but it's not necessarily an issue, but sometimes that does pop up from time to time. So, but I'm like I said, I'm down to help anyone. A load of podcasts I've been on, I've either been the first episode or an early episode, because we just need more platforms and documentation across the board in Brum. So if I can go on there and help and like legitimize, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, I don't know, but if I can go on there and that opens the door to like my people coming on, and so that's really it. And I think like historically and over time that were like, okay, cool, there was a load of building blocks in place that kind of sent a lot of stuff forward. And I'm not the be all and end all, but like a big block, like, Mayday was on this, so it's cool to
you are just like such a respected figure within the scene and outside of the scene as well. So like to have you go on to something and almost have like your stamp of approval, it is a big thing. Like,
I don't see it as that. I'm just Mayday. I'm just making it happen, as I always have. But seeing it from an external perspective, regardless of that we're friends or not, is interesting. Because like, I am just doing the work. Asked me 3 years ago, I was just doing the work. Yeah. And this was pre Canva, pre ALB. I'm just doing the work. It's now me just doing the work has a lot more attention on it and a lot more eyes on it. But nothing has changed for me. It's just I am doing the work in it. So to hear you say it, it's cool. But it's like I don't necessarily see it as such. Yeah. But like if you've got their opinion, I'm sure other people share the same opinion. And it's great, but it's like I'm just doing the work. That's all it is. Like if everyone's like, oh, maybe I need your work rate. I'm like, listen, what you have to do is do the work. Yeah. Everything else is noise. Just do the work.
It's like you were saying the other day. It was on like a podcast or something, and you were like, you're always so busy, but you're always on your phone because you're always working. That's it. Like there has never been a time where I've dropped you a message and you haven't replied within like 5 minutes. You are just consistently putting in effort everywhere, and everything that you do is just so like high rate.
Thank you. And I think because I like to get stuff done, it's like, okay, just tell me what you need, safe, send it, go, because then that frees up that time. And then because this, like as you said earlier, so I'm helping so many people and got hands in so many different pies and all these moving pieces and whatever. I need to be on my A game to let you be on your A game. So where it's like, you need this from me, I'll give you this, leave me alone, tell me when it's done, safe. And that makes both our jobs easier. And I've done this for everyone. But then obviously the other end of that pipeline is if that person doesn't fulfill their thing, or it's like I've worked with people before and they drip feed me details. They're like, oh, we don't have this. Okay, cool, we got this. Oh yeah, but this is broken. Like, and I'm learning this over time. Like, just tell me everything. Let me fix it and send it out. And I think being busy is cool. Being busy, people use being busy as an excuse. But as you said, referring to the previous interview, was like, being busy is cool. But if my busyness is holding your business down and we've got something going on, then everything else kind of takes a hit. And that's why I kind of try to like make a link or send an email or just get it done, gone, because then it's off my hair. And you're not waiting for vocals from me. You're not waiting for Mayday to send an email. Like it's there, cool, safe. It's in the process at least, and I'm not holding anything back. Because when you're the bottleneck, everyone's like, oh, yeah, but you're difficult to work with. Oh, yeah, but you're the person who longs everything out. And then your reputation, then, you know what I'm saying? It kind of diminishes from there. So it's not a case of you have to uphold such a standard. It's just I personally do, because I just have, like I said, so many things on. It wasn't always like this. Yeah. No one used to ring my phone. Like this interview with yourself is like the 4th one I've done in 2 weeks. And Medley said to me, he's like, why are you doing those interviews all of a sudden? I'm like, bro, because I used to have to ask people, yo, can I pay you to sit in a room to interview me? Because no one cared. Yeah. Now people care. That's why I'm getting shouts and whatever. So, and it's just doing all those pieces. But again, everything I've just said boils down to just do the work. Yeah. That's what it is. Just do the work.
So going back to your early work,
do we have to?
We do. I'm sorry. Talk to me about like your 2 early albums, like Ghost of October, Complete the Mission.
Yeah, that was the end of the interview. Thank you for joining, because we're not doing this yet. So Ghost of October, Yasmin, good friend of mine, she's a designer. She designed the artwork, and I didn't even realize until like 3 months of having the artwork, there's a ghost face in the middle. I didn't even realize that. And she went, have you seen it? And piece, I was like, yeah, that's it. I can't remember too much besides like I just wanted to make, and like, yo, I've got an EP, I've got a mixtape, I've got whatever. So yeah, Ghost of October was just kind of, my engineer had a lot going on in his life at that point. And so I was trying to get him to balance my music with other music he was working with. So like a lot of that was kind of, we did the work and worked with what we had. Complete the Mission was a lot more refined. Obviously Stretches on there, Socks and Mayhem are on there. So like that was me being Mayday the glue guy, like shouting, oh, Socks, let's do this, Mayhem, let's do this. And both of them are very similar in the regards of like, I didn't ask them to make a tune straight away. Like I'd helped them multiple times, Mayhem specifically with a load of stuff. And I said, oh, I've got this, and just kind of pitched it to them when it made sense. And I think in that, I guess what, it's like a 2-year gap from October to complete the mission. It was just a case of like everything I'd stacked skills wise that had compounded over that time then became complete the mission. And I think songs like Bolivian Extract, which is still one of my favorite songs I've ever made, based on streams and that, no one cares about it, but for me, it's one of my favorite songs I've ever made. And I think that shows the blend of like, it's grime music, but it's a lot more emotive and a lot more softer, which compared to Secret Weapon, which is also on that project, is completely different ballgame. I think the production got better project to project. Obviously, listening back to it now, it's funny where I've come from compared to what I'm making now compared to then. But the consistent it's me and Dubsco, and it has been that. And you can't fake community. You definitely can't fake chemistry. So being with him for so long is why the music I'm making now is phenomenal compared to then. But you have to get those early reps in. And for me, I'm a big proponent of doing the early reps. But because of how we live in an online world now, most of your early reps are on the internet. They're on a YouTube channel. They're on a SoundCloud. They're on a whatever. So my early reps are just there. But like, I don't mind putting it in the public domain because like, when people find their favorite new artist and they go back of a catalog of 6 years, 10 years, 15 years, they're like, oh, they came from this and now they're this. A lot of people like that kind of hero rises again journey. I also understand why people definitely delete their older stuff because you think it's cringe, but at the same time, you had to go through these 100 terrible videos or these 50 bad songs to start getting some traction, whatever that looks like.
You've got to find your feet before you can like
I
really
think,
solidify what you're doing.
Exactly. And I think anyone who does anything creative, you copy the people you watch first. And then from that, you start to find your own style in it. That could be as a podcaster as yourself, a rapper as me, like anyone, they'll idolize their favorites, copy that, do it really badly, but then from there, start to refine it to say, oh, okay, maybe I'm better off doing this or pivoting this way.
It's like when I started doing this, I wanted to have like the same humor as like Amelia from Chicken Shop Dates or like Kunk on Earth. I wanted that like kind of off the cuff, really like blunt humor. I can do that in my own personal life, but as a set like this, I can't do that. So it was never going to work. So I had to find something that worked for me, and I'm still finding my feet. I'm still finding my authenticity. But you kind of can't do that without starting from somewhere.
And then go back to what we were speaking about earlier, because you love the process of doing all this. That's not a problem to you. You'll figure it out eventually, innit? Like if you said, oh, I want to have this dry, sharp, like British humor that Amelia does, and then in the third episode, it looks cringe, it looks rubbish on camera. Most people just say, I'm not doing it. But like you said, you're like, okay, that's not me. I want to figure out what T's best at, what the remix is best at, and then just kind of refine it and go through there. And this episode, what, 14, 15, something like that? One of those?
By the time it comes out, it'll be 21 because you
apologies,
are kicking off season 2.
And I think it's like most podcasts quit at episode 21. If you're a top 10 podcast in the world, you got to 21 episodes. So congrats, welcome.
Thank you.
But yeah, like even that, you've got 20 episodes of refining to get to this point.
Yeah.
And then after mine, you'll have 21. And it just kind of stacks and compounds on there. And I think because you enjoy the process of it, like what you started out as wanting to be like Chicken Shop Date-esque in a podcast, that is far removed from what your North Star already is, but like ends up being as well. And then that's how the brand of Remix and as T kind of finds itself in that makes sense.
Like I know where I want to get with it. I know what the basis message is. It is to promote small artists and big artists on the same platform, give everybody their flowers. However that ends up looking is a completely different story. As long as I keep to my baseline, like that is the whole point that I do this. However production looks, whether I stay at this set, move somewhere else, like it all, that is all, it is what it is.
As long as you have your values to create, that's what that matters. And like you said, it might be a different cameraman, might be a different self, might be like, but the baseline is you're going to create these conversations for people you enjoy listening to and want to share them more on your platform. That's it. You can do that anyway. But like, as long as you have that value and continue, it'll obviously work over time.
So talk to me about ALB.
So ALB is like, basically it's just a mixtape, and I preference that with it's just a mixtape because it is, in essence, it's, well, the original was 12, and then the deluxe, which is what most people refer to, is 17 tracks, 26 artists, MCs, engineers, all from Birmingham, so it's 100% Birmingham on that track. And that came from the sets I was on about referring to earlier. Even prior to that, we've been doing them. But I was like, we're doing all these sets and it's cool, but there's no songs. And I was making songs at the point anyway. So I was like, you know what, let me collaborate horizontally. So I think the first one was him and Neutron with Driz. Then it was me and Legacy. Then it was me and Stretch. Then it was me and Trappy. And I think at that fourth point with Trap, I said, you know what, there's a lot of us here. There's like 10 of us, 20 of us sometimes on these sets. And I was making music, like, let me like focus on making music. And I started building horizontally, and I was dropping number singles. Then obviously me and Vontae came out later, me and Kreezon, and me and RG. So I was going there. I was like, you know what? I don't know what song you got to specifically, but I'm like, this has got to be some sort of, I have to collect these songs somehow. And it was just, there was an awful lot going on in Birmingham at the time. And then the whole clash of Brum versus Manchester happened. So like, there was an awful lot of things going on, sets, clashes, freestyles, all of this. So I thought, let me just put it into a project. And then the first project was the 12 tracks. And then the deluxe came purely on the basis of there was so many MCs I knew, Tricky, T-Rose, TPY, all of these, man. I couldn't even get on the first one because various reasons they were busy, didn't line up, whatever. So I had to make the deluxe. And then Birmingham didn't really have an identity in grime at that point, in my opinion. Obviously, like Trappy and Jizz were excelling on pen game. Canva was a moment. T-Roads on rap game. Stretch and RGG won their prize fighter clashes. Kreezon was doing a lot of cool stuff. Like everyone was doing something, but there wasn't like, oh, Birmingham was like that going on. And I think because, again, going back to the glue guy thing earlier, because I managed to kind of get people like, you got Jason Spades and Shake on the same project as Vante and RGG. Probably never going to happen again in Brum. Yeah. It's just, not because no one hates each other, it's just their worlds are so far apart. But because I've asked them and brought it together, like that's kind of why it's happened. And I think stuff like that is very, very cool, to the point where ALB, or Awful Lotta Birmingham, kind of became the name of the movement of everything that's going on now. And even the latest addition, I guess, to that fold is like Traj Brown and Cola B. And those two are individually flying. Traj has done stuff with Plastician. Cola B's got a Spotify documentary and she's up and down the country now. So like, Awful Lotta Birmingham is just like the name, I guess, of this new Birmingham grime era. Like the golden era is always Invasion and Stay Fresh from the mid 2010s. And you can't argue that. Moments before that and after that, yeah, but like that era when there was sets, that is it. I think now, if you say, or someone says to you, oh, remix, what's going on in Brum? You're like, oh yeah, ALB.
Yeah.
And that's not just the mixtape itself anymore. It's like the events that you've been to. It's the other collaborations you see between each other. It's the various sets. And now we've got like Serenclo, which is a clothing brand. They've got a radio station that they've done. Obviously, Benny itself is a clothing shop, but they've done the live streams, which allowed me to do Awful Lot of Benny, which are the events. Birmingham Sounds Radio is coming back. We got Sigil Radio, which is where I went viral. So we got all these platforms and whatever. I still think we need a lot more in regards to like a good strong podcast, and all these other things, which is why I built like the Birmingham Grime newsletter. I made that Birmingham Grime guide. I own the Birmingham Grime Spotify playlist to put all everyone's music in it. So like there's things going on there, and we need more of that. But I think Awful Lot Birmingham is just now, it's a mixtape that became a movement, and I think that's why, depending on when this goes out, the Awful Lot documentary will drop. Yeah, definitely drop after this. But I think everything I've just said, and people who've watched it, they've heard from this conversation, but like a documentary kind of telling that journey. Because remember, I'm just me. There's probably like, if everybody's out, it's probably like 20-ish of us. I can't tell 20-man stories, and everyone's like different versions of different things that happen. So I think the documentary is the best place to kind of collate that all into one place and then share it out there. So that's essentially what ALB is. It's just like the name of a mixtape, which became the name of the new grime movement in Birmingham, probably for the rest of the 2020s going forward, I would say.
And it's given an infrastructure as well. Like, we don't have an infrastructure at all, really. The ALB movement is giving that infrastructure. People have got a place to go. They've got a place to be heard. There's a community of people that are pushing other people's music because everybody is collaborating.
We just made it cool again to do the work. Yeah. And again, it goes back, I was just doing the work. It's like, obviously, there's certain people I know, like Rox and C1 and the YM, the Warsaw man, and they have no connection. They know Vante, if I'm not mistaken. Well, like they have no connection. But me and C1 use the same studio. Me and Rox has been a friend of mine for a while. So they just said, yo, can I come to Benny? I was like, yeah, cool, it's there. And obviously, you can watch all 3 Benny sets on YouTube and you'll see a different MC every time that you didn't know. And I guarantee that. But those MCs, unless I put it together, they'll never be in the same room just because they don't talk.
Yeah.
Not because of the issues. They're not in the same circles. And that's what happens. So I think me curating Awful Lotta Benny to be a space where even yourself, you came to 2 out of the 3.
I came to all 3. I just weren't at the second one for very long.
That was it. Yeah. So you kind of in and out. But even then, like you've met like guests who've come on remix. You've met them at Benny, as you were telling me.
90% of our guests have come through.
Exactly. But you and I met when you were doing previous media stuff in Warsaw. Yeah. But like even then, like now from you to this, and then I've helped you with whatever. It's just doing it and connecting people together. And I think the infrastructure conversation is bigger than me. It's even JK's manager Despa. He said he's had that conversation with various people for the last 20 years. And Birmingham would love to do this. Oh, we don't need we need infrastructure, but no one wants to build anything.
Yeah.
And then people complain about no one building anything, and then say we need infrastructure, and it's just a cycle. So I'm like, cool, I'll make a newsletter. I've wrote an entire grime guide that you can see all the eyes, all the events, all the spaces, everything in Birmingham grime as of today. The time you're listening to this, because I update it regularly, it's there on the internet. 5 hours of work has saved me like the next 30 years, so I can just constantly update it. There's that. We have a newsletter that goes out weekly covering everything in Birmingham grime, from clashes to songs to albums to freestyles to interviews and the Spotify grime playlist. I own the playlist, but all the Mandem's music's in there, and that's got your classics from JK and all them and whatever back there down to latest releases. So like anything in grime Birmingham that you need, we kind of have. Obviously, there's things that are bigger than me, like various record labels, and you don't really walk in Birmingham and walk past the record label office. It's just not there, innit?
Yeah.
And I'm not making Awful Lot records anytime soon. But yeah, like those things that are bigger than me, they'll come eventually. But the reason, like you just said about ALB, because we made it cool again, like to make music and be out, then other people started making music, then other people started coming outside, and everybody wants community, but nobody wants to come outside.
Yeah.
You get me? So once people start realizing that and just building their own thing, and there's a lot of people I'm aware of or adjacent to, there's various things going on in the city that I haven't even had a chance to get there yet. Whether me as Mayday or just ALB or Awful Lot of whatever they've got going on. But like the fact that things are there now and a lot of people are shouting me to do stuff because ALB is whatever, I think it's a great time. And everyone's like, ALB is a crew. I'm like, it's not. Everyone's like, oh, it's a gang. It's not anything. ALB is just a name of the mixtape. It's just like the synonymous term that encompasses everything.
Yeah.
So if someone says, oh, remix, what's going on in Birmingham lately? Like, oh yeah, well, ALB. And then they can see like there's a guide, there's a newsletter, there's a Spotify playlist, there's events and da.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously that's bigger than me. I'm just kind of the focal point because I ended up kind of putting it together. That's what it is.
No, it is proper sick what you're doing though. You are giving Birmingham what it needs, regardless of whether you are like, oh, I'm doing that, or I'm just doing the work. Like,
I'm just doing the work, but obviously if people like you are seeing it as such, like, oh, we need this, then obviously it means something in it. It means something in it. So
like in London, they've got so many different things. Like everybody's got their own thing going on, but they're all kind of intertwined.
There's people who are stars in London because London, they're just in the London ecosystem, which is phenomenal. Manchester's got a good job, and Liverpool to an extent of breaking in Manchester and Liverpool, and then going down to London. Birmingham seems to miss all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's bigger than me, but I'm just kind of having fun doing the work and slowly finding stuff out. So like obviously a lot of this year has been basically 2024 and 5 are building horizontal to the point where it's like, oh, when's the next AL Benny is the main question I'm getting asked. Great, cool. But now my whole thing is to bring outside people into the city to attend these events.
Yeah.
Whether that's MCs and artists or just regular people traveling from Nottingham, Bristol, Leeds, whatever, to come to Birmingham because we need more people in it. Like they come for like they go to like calm events when they're throwing raves or our turn events, what Khan and Alfie and them man are doing. But we just need more of that and at a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And obviously Brum's reputation unfortunately precedes itself in not the most positive way. But I think things, especially in the music where we operate in, but I think a lot of that can change again just from doing the work.
Yeah. You need people putting out those influences and being like, you know, the reputation's one thing, but actually we're very different to that. You need people putting that out there to be able to have people see it.
And I think that just comes down to doing it, but then also scale.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people used to, Mayday, you post on Instagram quite a lot. I'm like, bro, I post 2 to a few times a week. Like, bro, it's called social media. You have to be social in it. And people don't get that.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I posted photos from my event, then I've got a song, then I got an interview remix, then I got this, and I got that. Like, and that's just a week. Bro, there's 52 weeks in a year. You can do whatever you want. But I think a lot of people like Canva, if you look at my followers and Canva, 85% of the attention was for that one clip, which makes the rest of my posts in comparison look horrendous.
Yeah.
Like it looks like they're butted, but it's nice. People came for that one clip and then left. Like everyone is with me. If you look, the level of comments I get is quite an insane ratio for what I'm doing because a lot of people are intrigued and they see what's going on. And with how things work and me posting something today, you may not see for another 4 days down the line. It's like it's always new to someone who hasn't seen it before. But if you're only posting once, you give yourself one shot. That I've never really understood that. I would rather go 5 of 9 than 2 for 2.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people would argue the other way around. I get it, but I would rather be consistently good than occasionally great.
Yeah.
Because everyone can be occasionally great, but it's like occasionally can be anything from 2 weeks to 4 years. That's long. But if you can ask from, I don't know, 2023 to like 2027, oh, what's going on in Birmingham? Well, Mayday was doing this, or ALB was doing this, and I think that consistency. Like you look at London, they've got like Travis Presents have been doing it for a while. Manchester, they have Treehouse. Nottingham has antisocial services. So like everyone's got something, but like Birmingham we had us, but there was never anything going on there. So I think, or like people looking in couldn't see anything going on there. I think that's now changed. Yeah. With ALB and again what the boys and Coda individually do.
Yeah, so talk to me about Canva actually, because that's been brought up a couple of times. I'm not going to linger on it for too long. So.
No, it's cool. It's basically, I had a lyric, and the lyric goes, "How can I take investment advice from a man with artwork made on Canva?" Now, that lyric went viral when Sigil posted it on their TikTok, and currently, as I speak to you, on all social platforms, it's done like 70 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, insane. If you look at the comments, I've got people arguing in there about everything from racism to Palestine to specific softwares. I'm like, bro, I just wrote a bar. Yeah. And it's caused like it's a mess, very much a mess. The reason I made the lyric was because a friend of mine was telling me to invest into cryptocurrency, and I was like, bro, you don't pay for your Canva account. I can't take you financial advice. And that's kind of it. And it spawned there. On the set itself, I thought there was way better lyrics, and there probably is. But that one seemed to resonate with everybody, and I think the reason it went was because it was relatable. Yeah. Because I've got DMs from people saying, "Yeah, man, I use Microsoft Paint. Yeah, man, I use Photoshop." I'm like, bro, don't care. Safe, congrats. So
I use Canva.
Okay.
I pay for my Canva.
Yeah. Interview's finished. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, safe.
I pay for it. Leave me alone.
Safe. And then it just kind of became bigger than me. But as I said earlier, like because I pivoted, made it a song, then had a remix and all of that. Like it kind of I outlived
Yeah.
like Canva. Like I posted it for the year anniversary a month ago. That did another 2 million likes. So people are still finding it today. 'Cause it's brand new. But like if you come to the page now or my anything, like it's ALB. So a lot of people get a moment, excuse me, live and die by it.
Yeah.
Terrible. But I think because no one prepares to go viral. And the viral I went, it's big. It's not like American big, but like it's big. 70 million people looking at me from Kingstanding. Myth.
Yeah, and you ended up doing the collab with Badger.
Yeah,
and
so
you were sponsored by Adobe. Like you went from spitting a bar to like these insane features.
So I made a bar and then became, I'm pretty sure, until they did the thing with Chance the Rapper recently in an advert, I was the only rapper with an Adobe deal. Only UK rapper, I'm pretty sure. And I think a friend of mine, he said that to me. He's like, bro, we're not just gonna gloss over the fact you've got a deal with Adobe. Like, even now, it's like I'm just doing the work in it. But obviously, like, oh, that's Adobe, like Adobe, like Photoshop, and obviously I got 2 deals with them and the work I've done and whatever. And they all both went viral and then flew out to Miami and performed and all of that cool stuff based with Adobe and whatever. So, and I'm from Kingstanding, just doing that. So if I can do that from KS, we can do anything. Anyone can do anything.
Yeah.
It's just you have to put yourself out there and be willing to go through the reps. Like I said, if you look at the comments on there, comments are horrendous. People are arguing about bunch of nonsense and asking why you cussing Canva and da. I'm like, chill. But me putting myself out there and shooting shots then has me linked with Adobe and Insta360 and all these companies based off one lyric. So that was really it. Spat a lyric. People liked it. It went viral. Released a remix of it. Released the actual song of it. Got Adobe partnership from it. Insta360 partnership from it. And then also managed to, I think, still successfully outlive that moment.
Yeah.
I think outside the city, people say, oh, Canva. In the city, people are like, oh, ALB.
Yeah, for real.
Like I was performing in South Korea last August, probably a month after Canva went viral, and I'm on the radio there, and someone's like, "Oh, it's the Canva guy." So like that's like globally, it's there. The DMs I've got is everywhere from like Kazakhstan to Puerto Rico. Like, oh, I've seen the thing and I'm laughing and da. So, but like currently and going forward, it's ALB. So
yeah.
And like I said, a lot of people get a moment, have that, and then like you're the guy, and that's it. Like I could have been Canva and then just stopped. Waste of time because again, no one prepares you to go viral. So when you do, you have to have the business acumen to act. When I went viral, Canva was just a lyric. It wasn't even a song. Went studio saying like, added 2 more verses, made the song, got it engineered, and then threw that out straight away, and then started promoting that as if it was the song while the clip was doing its madness. So
how did you end up with the Badger feature?
So a label from Australia came, said, "Yo, we like the tune. We got something in it. Let's get it cracking." And then that was it. Then they put Badger on it, and then, as I said earlier, JK was supposed to be on there, but ended up with T-Face. And me and T-Face were cool before that anyway, so it kind of worked out really well. And then yeah, that was really it. It was kind of mishandled, to be quite honest, because it was top of the year and there was miscommunication where it should have been way bigger than it was. But obviously, like, I think Badger had his Australia, New Zealand tour at that time.
Yeah.
And T-Face was doing some other stuff. So it weren't really a priority, but I had the least leverage in that situation, even though it was my song. So I was like, the song's going to do what it's going to do safe. There was a bit of misalignment, miscommunication. So I think there was a lot more in it that could have been. But at this point, like, it exists, so I can't complain. Yeah. And people are still finding it now and telling me they like it. So I'm like, cool, my job's done.
I remember seeing that and going absolutely mad.
I remember you messaged me. You messaged me like, what? Badger. I'm like,
I was stood in my mum's kitchen. I remember it like clear as day. I was stood in my mum's kitchen scrolling Instagram. No, I was scrolling TikTok. And I was like, I heard the bar and was like, that's Mayday. And then was like, that's Badger. What the fuck? Like, because I've always been such a big Badger fan.
Like, this is the thing. Like, ironically, before all that happened, I never knew.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of like everyone operating in their own circles, but still coming together for the thing. So I think what happened was I shot him the vocals. He then built the beat around that and then said, oh, this verse is going to go here. You'll be the hook. Let's find someone. And I think they gave it to Jay. And then it didn't happen. And I think it then was T-Face. And then that became a song.
Yeah. So. Look, as one of your friends to see you collaborate with somebody that I idolize is mental. Like,
but again, it's just proof of what I just said. Like, anyone can do anything.
Do the work.
But it just comes down to doing the work. Like, if anything you take from this conversation, just do the work. That's what you have to do. Just do the work.
What do you think about like collaborations and stuff with? I mean,
essential.
I knew what you were
silly
question.
Say. Essential. I think you trade fan bases. It can be sparring depending on who you're with. Like, I think I'm better than you on a track. Let's find out. But I think they're trading fan bases, and like a lot of my connections nationally, like Bristol, Manchester, Nottingham, it's just from collaborating with their MCs or their people and just doing the work. And I think a lot of people you don't have to do collaborations. Like Adele has never collaborated in her career. Yeah. She's phenomenal. But again, generational talent, it's the exception, not the rule. But I think collaborations across the board is how I found most of my favorite artists. Both grime and the other non-grime music artists too. Came through someone collaborating with them originally and then kind of found it. So I also just kind of took that ethos and did it. I think I also have a high work rate. So I've got a bag of Mayday solo songs. Safe. But I think like Mayday featuring remix or Mayday featuring ABC, like just having those songs it also then shows your audience me and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think again, because I've had Canva and ALB, I think me doing a song with someone definitely gives them eyes they didn't have before, which is great for them. But I'm not necessarily looking at it as a trade, like, oh, I have to win from this. Like, I remember the first time, I'm not going to say it was, but I collaborated with someone. And the first time, and they're quite big now, I would say, but the first time I collaborated with them, they had 9 monthly listeners on Spotify. Well, it's because I rated them and I knew, like, you're going to be cold. And I like to make music and I just like to do the work again. So that's what it came down to. That person now very successful in doing their thing, but it's like, I don't look at the numbers. I'm like, yo, you're sick. Let's work.
Yeah.
I found bare people on Instagram recently that I've reached out to. So there'll probably be a mini EP at some point next year with all these people I found that I just like, yo, you're cold. Let's just work on it. I'm not looking at numbers, streams. It's not a thing. And I have refined my process to where, like, if I say, okay, remix, send me a verse. When I send you the beat, my verse is already on there. You're going to send me back the pieces. My engineer's going to put it together. Then I'll give you the release date. That's it.
Yeah.
It's so minimal for you to get involved. You'll be stupid to say no.
Yeah.
And I think that approach to the process, obviously, nothing beats being in the studio with ABC, but like that rapid, I guess, process from start to finish, that has allowed me to do a lot more collaborations a lot faster. Not for the sake of doing them, but like tactically doing them. Again, ALB be coming out of that. I just think collaborations they're fun. I would say they're essential to an extent. I think all the big songs in the charts, I think the number on average is normally like 74 to 81% of the top 10 biggest songs are normally collaborations. Yeah. So again, like, don't listen to me, like, you can't argue with that data. So yeah, I would say, and collaboration could just be like you work with a different cameraman instead of you filming it yourself, or I work with a different producer. That's not Dubco or an MC. Like, collaborations can come in different forms. Like, I've collaborated with Instagram pages. You got like 0121 Grime, Central Grime, 0121 Mainliners, and these like 140 BPM, and these like Grime, also Birmingham based, but like Grime archival documentary pages or documenting pages, and we need them to kind of tell our story that's bigger than us.
Yeah.
Obviously, Demeter Messiah, good friend of mine, but he's like the biggest example of that. And that's also a collaboration because I'm asking them to write about what I'm doing, but then my people are finding out about what they've got going on, and they've got a catalog of work, which goes back to like just putting out more songs, whatever. And then again, going back to the glue guy thing, it's like, oh yeah, I heard you on that collab with Mayday, or oh, I heard you from that song and used that song with Mayday. And like, it always draws back to a collaboration I've done that someone finds out about, like, oh, Mayday's doing this work or whatever. So it also just, and it allows you to put out more songs. Like, if I put out 1 song a month, that's 12 songs a year. Plus, if I do like 12 features, that's 24 songs a year. I put out more music than that anyway. But like, if I was just going on a basic 1 song per month, but I did features all around that, it's like I'm everywhere all at once. So you have no choice but to at least consider listening to me. So I think it just kind of helps spread the playing field as well.
Nah, for real. So moving forward, what is next for ALB and what is next for you away from ALB?
I know that's an interesting question. I've been asking myself that a lot, to be fair. Me and Stretch had this conversation literally yesterday. I would say, so it's 2026 now. So I think there's gonna be there's a cool event I'm doing. I don't know when. I think it's gonna be February, March. I think I'm waiting on the other party involved, but it'll be an awful lot of something. But it's been done before, but not to the scale and to the mission that I've curated for this, if that makes sense. So there's that. Obviously, the main thing will be the Awful Lotta documentary. I've got bare songs there. I might just start shutting them out every 2 weeks like I normally do. A few collaborations I need to get done. Realistically, I think the documentary will be the end point of the main pillars of ALB. Like, you've got the events, you've got the documentary, you've got the work that we're all doing, and then the newsletter. And so I think that will be like the final and main pillar in like that ALB, whatever you want to call it. But that doesn't mean like the work will stop, if that makes sense. It's just like all the positions are in place now where like, I did the maths, for example, call it 22 MCs, including me, in this new Birmingham Grime generation. I've collaborated with every one of them, but at this time recording, I've collaborated with everyone except 2, and that's already in the works anyway. So by the time this is out, that song will be out. So that's me. I did the maths. I think if they all collaborate with each other just once, that's like another 978 songs. That's the entire ecosystem of music. It's done, safe, don't need that. So I think a lot more of that will come out. And then me as Mayday, I think next year will probably be debut album time. Don't know what that looks like, but I have ideas. I've got a title. No, you can't find out.
Okay.
I've got a title. Got a title.
Can I find out off camera?
We'll see. But yeah, basically I've got the title and I want to do it, but like the ALB story still needs to continue to be told. So once that's the main focus, and then again, a great problem to have, like Awful Lotta Benny 3 was a success, but as you saw, it was ram out the door, and it was a cold November night. So it's got to the point where now I most likely need to get a new venue. So even that, and then having to like, it won't be Awful Lotta Benny anymore, it'll be Awful Lotta whatever this is.
Yeah.
And I have to rebuild that from ground one, and like, am I doing it? And There's some cool collaboration I like to do as well. Just with Awful Lotta's like Justin Mitsu. She's like one of Birmingham's best DJs. Like, she has Club Angelica, and it's
Yeah.
like an all female lineup or whatever. I'm like, let's do an awful lot of Club Angelica, and like you bring your DJs, I bring my MCs, and we just have one big, stuff like that. There'll be a lot of cool things to do there. Some seller as well, they're my friends, so awful lot of some seller would be cool. But yeah, I think with ALB, it's just kind of more collaborations, and because I've built the groundwork, the MCs, you've been there, you've seen it. If not, there's the guide, there's the newsletter, you find out regardless in it. So it's just more taking these lot and myself into these spaces and kind of sending everything in Birmingham that way. Then for myself as Mayday, I've got songs with bare people that I need to drop or I want to drop, shall I say. And then ideally, what is it now? November. Yeah, probably a debut album this time next year. I don't want to rush it, but I think ideally, like I've got like 15 projects with EPs and mixtapes. So I think like to fully like stamp and have like a magnum opus in my catalog would probably be that, to be fair. That's my guess anyway. So everything I've said ideally happens, but as you know, like stuff does not happen. And especially when there's other people and other variables involved.
Yeah.
You
You've
kind of
really
have to work with it and take it as it comes, sort of thing. But yeah, that'll be it. ALB is everything. And that going forward. And then hopefully Q3, Q4 of 2026 will be debut album, or at least in the process of rolling out a debut album at the very, very least in it. But yeah, that'll be it.
Nah, I'm excited. It's gonna be so sick. It'll be
fun.
I love how driven you are, and
have
how
to.
you make shit work, man.
Because otherwise, this hour we just wasted an hour. Like I've said, I've done all this, and I just stopped now. It don't make sense in it. So like, whenever you see me, I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like, I'm doing the work in it. And I think hopefully, like a lot of people had a conversation with someone, and they are an older person in Birmingham, and they basically said, don't do what I did. I tried to explain to everyone what I was doing. I was like, I ain't got that time. My work is explanation. If you get it, cool. If you don't, I don't have time to explain it. And I've just taken that approach for everything. That's why I've kept swinging and we're here in it. So it's going to continue that for however long I keep going. That's the plan. We can go back in 2 years and it'll be, oh, what you done? The work.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, what you done? The work. So I think that was it. But yeah.
Yeah. Have you got any advice for someone that is starting out, wants to really get to like where you are at?
Yeah, okay, cool. So learn to do everything you health. Like make artwork. Ironically, make artwork on Canvas is free. Like use it. There's Photopea as well. It's like a free version. Like use it in it. If you can be self-sufficient as possible, cool. Know when you need help. Don't be afraid to ask. The worst thing anyone can say is no. You're most likely not ready to be in that room, but like go in the room anyway. When you're in the room, be of value, whatever that looks like in it. Network on social media, but you don't really know the person until you shake their hand and you've met them in real life, and then you can kind of get, because like text destroys a lot of tone, like stuff can get misconstrued. So make sure you go and shake hands and say hello. And also big one, yeah. If you want to perform at an event, rapper, guitarist, whatever, yeah, go to that event as a fan first. Then you'll find the people there. Like if you want to be part of it, support it. And if you don't want to do that, build your own thing. And if it's a case of building your own thing, you don't know the person, stop being lazy. You have YouTube, TikTok, and Google. Like just Google who owns this event, who does that, and like you'll figure it out in it. And if you want it, you'll make it happen. Any more practical advice? Yeah, be outside more. Like I said, everybody wants community. Nobody wants to be outside. That's quite obvious. Going back to the last point, you will doubt yourself many a time. And if you can't see yourself doing it for an extended period of time, then just don't start at all. Because you're going to waste your own time and everyone's time. Obviously, things change. Life, responsibilities, whatever. But like, if you can't see yourself doing it in some capacity, maybe you start as a rapper, and then you go to a producer, and then an engineer for a more backseat role, whatever. Like, but as long as you can see yourself in this creative endeavor, this isn't just music, it's just in general. Like, if you can see yourself in it for a long time, you'll be all right. And then, yeah, just do the work. That's really what it is. Just do the work. And if you want to build in public and share your journey, like when 7 likes is a lot to you, and then you got like 700, cool, do that. But understand, like, it does take time. Like, what you're seeing now has took multiple years of swing. I call it swinging it out, but basically just it's doing the work and being in the room and etc. etc. So it's a long journey. But again, as we said at the start, if you love the process of the journey, you'll be all right. And then follow me at Mayday Mayo because I'm the best. That's probably it. that's great advice. Yeah. I would say that's great advice. But
it was.
Yeah.
And then one more. Have you got a message for other cities that are watching Birmingham? And
yeah. Hello. That's it. Now, obviously, yeah, but I think Birmingham gets looked at in general. Like, it's weird because America is America. London looks at America. Birmingham looks at London, and then like the other cities outside of Birmingham, Manchester, Nottingham, Leeds, they're like, oh, Birmingham's cool, so they look at Birmingham as well as London. So I don't think it's that. I just think if there's anything in general, make it cool to document. And I'm saying that because like all the cities I'm aware, like I said this in another interview I did, they went, if you could see like a Birmingham grime guy for another city, I instantly said Nottingham MCs, they're there, bro. But the lack of documentation around them because of just people no one's doing it. I think someone can come and collate all the information and make it proper. I think stuff like that needs to happen. Whether they steal that from me and do like a insert your city here grind guide, whatever. I didn't make guides and I just did it because I wanted to and we needed it. I think other cities can definitely do that. And then yes, Birmingham is grime. That's what it is. That's all it ever has been, to be fair. So yeah, that's really it.
No, thank you. You have dropped some like serious little
Yeah, man.
information.
Clumsy jeweler, man. There's an awful lot of gems around there.
Yeah.
So watch this and then watch it again and then watch it again and then thank remix after in it. So I'm just here.
No, thank you so much.
No worries,
This has been a long time coming, and I
That's-
appreciate you coming on, man.
No worries. Thank you very much.
All right, where can everybody find you?
At Mayday Mayo, MAYDAYMAYO, and everywhere at Mayday on Spotify, MAYDAY, and keep it locked, ALB, all of that. Yep.
All right, quick fire questions.
Let's go.
Studio or stage?
You need both. I would go stage though.
Clash or Cypher?
Cypher,
Garage or Grime?
grime.
Kingstanding or City Centre?
Nah, Kingstanding still. This ends. Yeah, man.
You got-
However, Kingstanding doesn't have insomnia cookies. So, but alas,
you've got to pick one album that you could listen to for the rest of your life.
Young Lean, Warlord,
One genre,
grime.
one song from your catalogue that you
My
got saved
catalogue?
from your catalogue.
That's a phenomenal choice of songs there, mate. I would say nah, it can't be Canva. Canva's a bit Secret Weapon. So I think Secret Weapon's like with Mayhem and Socks in it. That's where it like took a level up there. So that's probably the one.
And one collab out of anybody in the world that you want to do.
Yeah, it would be Young Lean still. It would be Young Lean. That's it.
That would be mad. You in a Young Lean song.
My favorite, bro. He's the best, bro. I flew out to Sweden to go to his show last year when he did the Avicii Dome, and that I knew it was gonna be a show because it's your hometown. You normally come out for your hometown, innit? And he brought out everyone. It was like an hour and a half of just straight slaps, and it made sense to me. So
yeah,
he would be the guy still.
Nah, sweet.
Yo, myself, Mayday. Make sure you click the subscribe button because this is the Remix Podcast. Yeah.